and welcome to a little vlog style video that I'm doing today. And the reason why I'm doing this vlog style video is because today is, I'm not sure if I would say exciting, but perhaps an interesting day, because today is the first ever MOT test that I am doing in the RS. Now, indeed, this is actually the first ever MOT test that I'm doing in any performance car, so I'm not really expecting any issues at all. I mean, the car is running fine. We just took it for a service at the end of last week with Trust Ford, and everything was grand. So there's not actually anything wrong with the car or anything like that. The only one thing that I'm slightly apprehensive about is the emissions test. Of course, a higher performance car than your average Joe kind of car is going to be pushing out more like nasty stuff out the back. It's just the way that it is. More highly strung engine, it's just the way that it is. And then also the fact that we of course are running the Mountain Sports Cat means that even compared to the stock form of the RS, we are potentially going to be pushing out some more emissions. Of course, because it is a cat, it's still a catalytic converter, 200 cell sports cat from Mountain. It is still catalytically converting, and they designed them to conform to emissions standards, so there shouldn't theoretically be any issue. But I have read and saw things on the internet, Facebook forums, things like that, where people have had issues with emissions tests, even with sports cats. The advice that is quite often given is to make sure that the cat is red hot, like as hot as you can get it before you go for the emissions test. And that is because catalytic converters work most efficiently when they are red hot. They need to be hot in order to catalytically convert. That is why whenever we start the car up in the morning, it runs the cold start thing, where it sounds a lot louder than usual, and that is because it is trying to superheat the cat in order to, you know, kick start it and get it going. But what I am currently doing right now in this lovely wet day here, I am driving around for a reasonable bit of time before the time of the test. I'm just going to be driving up and down this road a bunch, just to get the cat really hot, just so that I have the best chance of getting it through this emissions test. I am doing another little thing. Well, I'm going to do a couple more things. Before I go in, I'm going to switch my map down to the lowest power option. Obviously, I'm going to hand it over in normal mode, not sport or track mode or anything like that. But the other main thing that I am going to try, just to again give me a little bit of help with the emissions test, is I'm going to be using this. Now, what this is an additive for the fuel system from a company called Wins. I've been using this company Wins for a while now for their octane boosters. Not that I use them a lot, but just so that I have an octane booster in the back of the car, just in case I find myself somewhere that doesn't have good fuel. I can just use one and then put regular fuel in, and it should be fine. The last time I was doing an order, I noticed that they had this specific product. Now, this is called Wins Petrol Pre-Emission Test Treatment. So what they say this does is you basically load it into your fuel tank and then top up with fuel exactly the same as you would with an octane booster, and whatever stuff is in this, I mean, you can read all of the fancy chemicals and stuff that are in this. Whatever it does, it's meant to reduce your emissions, the emissions that they test for, such as carbon monoxide. So that is pretty cool. So I loaded that in yesterday, and I did a bit of driving yesterday, and I'm again doing some driving now just to burn through some of it, getting it worked through the system. So you can see I'm doing everything I can to basically ensure that I get through this emissions test. Apart from that, everything should be grand. It should sail through. Everything is absolutely spot on with the car. So yes, like I said, just going to drive around here for a while, and then I'm going to go to the test, and then hopefully that will be that, and I'll catch up with you a little bit further down the road. Alright, well, here we are. I have rolled up at the test centre. Don't know if you can see that. And yeah, just waiting. I'm in a queue. There's one person in front of me, so I have to wait for them to go in. Now, sitting here, obviously they say that you have to leave your engine on, which will keep the cat warm to some degree. But I think I'm going to sort of sneakily just hold some revs for a while just to keep it even warmer until they can take me in. Well, I say take me in. I believe that the new rules with COVID and stuff means that I actually don't go inside the centre at all. I have to stand outside in this like pissing rain, which is going to be fun. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a waiting game now, just waiting for them to come out and get this show on the road. Hopefully it won't take too long, get it in, get it out, and be done with it. Well, and it goes for its MOT. And I'm here hanging out with my umbrella in the rain. Just have to wait for him to get it done and come and tell me how it went. Well, here we are. They just brought my car out and it is a pass. Hooray! He said there was no issues at all, really. Just the brake pads at some point, probably over the next year, will need changed, but we have plans for that anyway, so that's happy days. All good. And I don't know if that win stuff did anything, but I'm just going to go ahead and say wins for the win on this one. I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So yes, MOT, first ever MOT in the RS, a pass, happy days. So there we go. I am super happy that the car basically sailed through MOT. It's first ever MOT and all was good. Actually easier than any MOT that I've ever had to do before way back in the past because of COVID. I didn't have to do a thing, I just had to get out and wait, which is pretty cool. Normally you have to like fiddle with buttons and stuff, which is alright, but it's a bit annoying. But yeah, happy days, all good. Big thanks to the test centre and all the guys working there doing all the tests. Big thanks to Wins for doing that cool pre-emissions test additive. They had a wee guarantee on it. If you failed your emissions test in your MOT, you could have like complained at them, but clearly we don't need to complain at them. All is good. And also another little point as well with regards to MOTs and legality and all that kind of stuff. I've done a bunch of like LED auto beam upgrades, like indicators, brake lights, all that good stuff, and there's always the occasional negative Nancy who goes, oh, those are illegal, those will not pass MOT. Well, clearly they are quite wrong, because I have the full set on my RS and they didn't mention it at all. So there you go, that is all good. I'm super happy. I think it calls for some fireworks to celebrate. So yes, I hope you like that. I hope you like this little vlog style video. Please do like, share and subscribe for more content to come very, very soon. Thank you once again. Goodbye.